Good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group. I want to thank you for being here. And today we're with Phoenix Animal All Power Group. And it's my honor to introduce you to, and I love animals, you know that. We are going to talk about Sergeant Reckless, a Korean War hero. Now, I think all animals are heroes in their own right, but I think today you'll see an exemplary discussion of a wonderful horse. And it's almost unbelievable what I'm going to be telling you. And, if you know me a little bit, I don't make up stories. These are real stories. So, that's the exciting part of it. Okay. Of all the animals celebrated for their wartime service, few command as much respect and admiration as Sergeant Reckless, a small Mongolian mare who became a legendary United States Marine. Now that's Marine. I know a lot of us would say, whoa, becoming a Marine is a very honored, tough job. Her story is remarkable, testament to bravery, intelligence, and the profound bond that can form between humans and animals in the most trying of circumstances. When I put these stories together, it's not hard to find outstanding choices for presenting, hopefully, things that you might enjoy. Now, Sergeant Reckless started out as a racehorse. So you would say she's a racehorse to war horse. Now, Reckless began her life in Korea as a racehorse named Ah Chimhai. Say that 5 times fast. Meaning morning flame. So in other words, she even started out where I guess they would say this is an outstanding horse. And if you talk to any horse owner, they'd say their horse is outstanding. And they are. So again, this is just one choice of a great animal. In October 1952, during the Korean War, U.S. Marine Lieutenant Eric Peterson, as you can see there, he's looking at you, purchased the mare for $250 to serve as a pack animal for his recoilless rifle platoon in the 5th Marine Regiment. And where they were with this battle is they were in extreme mountainous terrain where it made it nearly impossible to transport the heavy ammunition for rifles, and a horse was a perfect solution. Now, of course, this is the Korean War. I'm not sure if I made that clear, but Korean War in the 50s. In fact, I was probably when Sergeant Reckless, I was probably about 3-4 years old. And I know you're saying, really, that old? Anyway, so the Marines quickly named her Reckless after the reckless nature of the recoilless rifles she was to supply. She was far more than just a beast of burden. She became a beloved member of the platoon. The Marines shared their rations with her, and she developed a famous appetite for scrambled eggs, Coca-Cola, beer, and even poker chips. I know you're saying, whoa, what's going on? Poker chips? That's the only thing that worries me a little bit. I don't know if she should be eating poker chips unless they use something like crackers as poker chips. She was allowed to roam freely through the camp and would often sleep in the Marines' tents with them. Now, is that loyalty or is that loyalty? I'll give you 1 second to decide. Anyway, her unparalleled bravery in combat, reckless true legend was forged in the heat of battle. She was trained to navigate the treacherous paths from the supply depot to the firing positions, often under intense enemy fire. Now, even as a little aside, she's wonderful, of course. But how would she then not be afraid of all the explosions, rocket firing, the guns? I mean, God bless. I mean, really. She learned to run for a bunker upon hearing the cry of incoming. So she knew that something was incoming that could actually hurt her. Oops, sorry about that. Anyway, she would, if she knew something was happening, she would lie flat if caught in the open. Now, I just can't keep saying how smart this animal is. Her most famous moment of heroism occurred during the brutal 5-day battle for Outpost Vegas in March of 1953. In a single day, Reckless made 51 solo trips to the front lines, carrying a staggering total of over 9,000 pounds. That's more than 4.5 tons of ammunition to guns. For the guns, I should say. And she also carried wounded soldiers back down the mountain on her return trips. So it's not like, well, I only go one way. No, she goes, she would go both ways, but she works going both ways. That's cool. Unbelievable. She covered more than 35 miles navigating the deadly terrain on her own. She had learned the routes by heart. Now, as another little aside, I have my little Jamie. She's a 10-year-old Shih Tzu. She's loyal. She's honest. She's wonderful. So, it's not where you want to say any animals are bad. They're all good, in my opinion. Anyway, she was wounded twice during the battle, but never faltered. Her wavering courage and resilience were a source of immense inspiration to the Marines fighting alongside her. Now, you know, you all want to have a good leader. And I admit, sometimes there aren't a lot of good leaders. Leaders have to lead, make you feel like you want to do what they want you to do, or have it where you do the best you can for the leader. Well, now here we've got a horse that is saying, tell me what you need. I do anything alongside my partners. I mean, I'm still incredulously astounded, even though, yeah, I did this, I studied, I pull the images, but still, it's unbelievable. She was a Marine through and through. For her incredible service and bravery, Reckless was officially promoted through the ranks, just like any other Marine. And I do have profound respect for all the military. Now, she had all these medals. And, you know, she basically had, and I'll read them out to you, but you can see she had all these medals. Anyway, she, just so that you, understand, we have the couple Purple Hearts and so many other presidential, award. I can go on and on and on. I don't think anybody else you would normally, or at least find that too many people had in whatever battle and war they were involved in, that they had so many medals. I mean, even an ace pilot becomes an ace pilot, if they shoot down 5 planes. Well, here is Reckless accumulating over a time, and she didn't do it. She didn't do it for the medals. She was later promoted to sergeant in 1954, a rank formally approved by the commandant of the Marine Corps. So again, this was not just where you'd say, well, we love her, so we're going to do this and this. No, these were official, full military decisions. So, amazing. Upon her retirement, and she deserved a wonderful retirement, she was given a final promotion to staff sergeant. That's an E6 in 1959. So she pretty much fought through the whole Korean War. Her military decorations include, and I'll read them out quickly: 2 Purple Hearts, a Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal. I guess she didn't go out drinking with the boys. A Presidential Unit Citation with a Battle Star, the National Defense Service Medal, a Korean Service Medal, the United Nations Korea Medal, a Republic of Korea Presidential Unit Citation. Anyway, after the war, she is now back in America, and she's enduring legacy. After the war, a campaign was launched to bring Reckless to the United States. she arrived at she arrived in 1954 to a hero's welcome and lived out her days at Camp Pendleton, California. Now, there's kind of a depiction of how you like those old cars, you know. She gave birth to 4 fowls. Hey, you know, it's like that's full time too. And she's gone through so much stress. For her to have 4 fowls is amazing. And she was cared for by the Marines she had served with. So this wasn't like, in so many words, putting her out to pasture. This is just bringing her into Camp Pendleton and taking care of her just as you would expect somebody that it needs to be honored like that. Unfortunately, Sergeant Reckless passed away in May of 1968. She was buried with full military honors at Camp Pendleton. Her legacy endures as a powerful symbol of the spirit of the Marine Corps. In 2013, a life-sized bronze statue was dedicated in her honor at the National Museum of Marine Corps in Quantico, Virginia, with others later placed at Pendleton and the Kentucky Horse Park. So if you've ever gone to, I guess, the Kentucky races, you know, I guess they have a horse park. And, you know, this is cementing her place as one of history's greatest animal heroes. So, wow, you know, what a wonderful, wonderful presentation for me as an honor to just tell how wonderful and courageous and brave Sergeant Reckless was her whole life. Anyway, I enjoy these because I learn about wonderful, from the Animal Channel, wonderful animals. And I wouldn't even want to look for anything bad about animals because I don't think there is a lot. So this is just one of my notches in the gun showing you somebody that is so absolutely wonderful. I want to thank you for being here, and I hope all is well, and just keep trying every day. And thank you. Take care.